Accomplished filmmaker and writer Quentin Tarantino has consistently delivered groundbreaking cinematic and literary works. His films have made breakthroughs in the careers of actors such as Samuel L. Jackson, Uma Thurman, Harvey Keitel, Steve Buscemi, and Margot Robbie, and that's just to name a few. Here is a ranking of the best performances in every film by Quentin Tarantino. Stick around. Number 1 might surprise you. Firstly, number 10, we have Kurt Russell in Death Proof. A scarred stuntman drives around killing ladies in groups with his death-proof automobile. Kurt Russell plays stuntman Mike, and the genius behind his performance lies in how it evolves through the movie. He plays the terrifying antagonist in the slasher film at the beginning, but by the end, he is defeated by a band of young, strong, and resourceful women. Russell convincingly portrays the antagonist's descent from initial arrogance to a state of fear. Not many A-list actors would want to play such a role, but Russell pulls it off brilliantly, saving what could have been Tarantino's worst film. Next, number 9, Pam Grier in and as Jackie Brown. Flight attendant Jackie Brown gets arrested by the ATF for smuggling. The ATF and Jackie's employer in the drug trade is constantly pressuring her to make deals that will most likely result in her death, so Jackie comes up with her own strategy. Tarantino saw potential in Pam Grier, and he handed her the lead role in Jackie Brown, much like he did for John Travolta in Pulp Fiction. Grier is fantastic. She is strong but vulnerable, flirtatious but shy, smarter than she appears, and resourceful, yet able to make do with what she has. In particular, her scenes with Robert Forster were a game changer for her professional life, as they complement each other well, and both characters find fulfillment in an unexpected love connection as middle-aged adults thanks to their newfound friendship. Jackie Brown contains more romance, intimacy, and low-key love than any other of Tarantino's movies, and both actors capture that element of the plot. This may be because the script is based on a book by Elmore Leonard. After visiting Tarantino for the first time, Grier remarked to The Guardian that the director had put her posters up on the walls and what a big honor it was for her to witness them, as it made her feel empowered to be a part of a female cinematic revolution. Up next, number 8, we have Christoph Waltz in Inglourious Basterds. It's World War II, and a squad of troops in Nazi-occupied France are plotting to eliminate the Führer. Fantastic acting is seen throughout Inglourious Basterds, particularly from Melanie Laurent as Shoshana, but the film's highlight comes from Christoph Waltz, Hans Landa. Who would have guessed that in a film about the Nazis, in which Hitler has a role, he wouldn't be the scariest? To put it simply, Waltz's Landa is the epitome of wickedness. Torturing Jewish folk is a hobby of his. The Oscar-winning actor, who was previously unknown in Hollywood, portrays a serial killer who enjoys every minute of terrifying and killing his victims. It's no surprise that the actor took home his first Oscar for his remarkable performance in this film. Coming up, number 7, we have Jennifer Jason Leigh in The Hateful Eight. In the 19th century American West, 8 hostile and suspicious people hole up in a lodge during a blizzard, waiting for conditions to improve so they can continue their journey. The accused killer, Daisy Domergue, played by Jennifer Jason Leigh, is one of them. Leigh's Domergue persona is like a typhoon, tearing at our retinas with her allure and evilness. She's a woman in a world dominated by men, and she suffers more abuse than is fair. Despite this, she never appears to be afraid, since she is always plotting and scheming her escape. While there are many outstanding performances in the film, Leigh's is particularly noteworthy. In addition, she can hit the right notes on a guitar. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, Tarantino said of his decision to hire Jennifer Jason Leigh because she reminded him of a female Sean Penn in the 1990s. Directors would cast her in movies where her performance was the focal point, not merely as a girlfriend or as the girl next door. This made the director eager to watch a Jennifer Jason Leigh film in which her performance takes center stage. What's more, number 6, we have Leonardo DiCaprio in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's the end of the 1960s, and Rick Dalton, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, is an aging actor whose stardom is on the decline. His stunt double Frank, played by Brad Pitt, is searching for fresh work. Meanwhile, Sharon Tate, Margot Robbie, a young actress whose career is just getting started, is at the peak of her popularity. One of Leonardo DiCaprio's best performances comes in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Rick Dalton is a self-conscious alcoholic who's nearing the end of his acting career. The character is progressively losing all of his authority and influence, and DiCaprio's performance reflects that. His best came in the scenes he shared alongside the young actress Trudy. Let's look at number 5, Michael Madsen in Reservoir Dogs. A failed jewelry theft has led to widespread distrust among a gang's criminal members. Even though it was Tarantino's first film, Reservoir Dogs had his signature style and themes. The picture features several talented actors, including Steve Buscemi, Harvey Keitel, and Tim Roth, but Michael Madsen delivers his most impressive performance ever. Madsen's Mr. Blonde is layered with horror and insanity. Immediately, it's clear that this guy is off his rocker, but it isn't until he tortures a cop for laughs that we know he's truly lost it. The scariest part is that he seems to be laughing and enjoying himself while doing it, as if this were just another ordinary Tuesday for him. This simply goes to show that his evil knows no bounds and that his dance skills greatly exceed his morals. Following up, number 4, we have David Carradine in Kill Bill Volume 2. The bride's vengeful campaign against those who have wronged her, notably Bill, continues in the second installment of the Kill Bill series. First off, let's acknowledge that if these were standalone movies, Uma Thurman would have been a natural choice, but she comes second because of the amazing performance that Carradine gave. Bill is a horrible individual who, between the two films, inspired the invention of the retribution machine known as the Bride. Only because of the chemistry between Carradine and Thurman is Bill able to spend his last hours with the love of his life and their daughter, giving their final encounter a lot more meaning and elegance, as if it had been an incredible battle in the film's final act. Not to mention number 3, Samuel L. Jackson in Django Unchained. After being freed from slavery by Dr. King Schultz, Christoph Waltz, Django, Jamie Foxx, trains to become a bounty hunter. Django is desperate to reunite with his wife and will stop at nothing to find her, including going back to the home of his slave master, Calvin Candy, Leonardo DiCaprio. One of Tarantino's favorite actors, Samuel L. Jackson, has a standout performance as Stephen in Django Unchained. He is the worst character in the film since he sides with his master against other slaves. Is he a psychopath suffering from Stockholm Syndrome? Stephen knows what he's doing is horrible, but he's only looking out for himself, and Jackson sells it like nobody's business, providing his most dramatic performance. Now, for number 2, Uma Thurman in Kill Bill Volume 1. Reviving from a 4-year coma, an ex-assassin known only as the Bride will exact vengeance on those who sought her death. Uma Thurman owns Kill Bill Volume 1 because of her incredible turn as the Bride. One of Tarantino's finest creations is the Bride. We are with her on her physical and mental journey, no matter how violent or upsetting it may be. Throughout the film, Thurman displays a wide range of sensations, from sadness to joy to anger to disdain to grief to adoration, and each of these reactions is appropriate to her character and her progress toward defeating the assassins who nearly killed her. Lastly, number 1, we have Samuel L. Jackson in Pulp Fiction. 4 stories of violence and redemption set in the 1990s in Los Angeles feature criminals whose lives are connected somehow. Pulp Fiction remains Tarantino's finest work, the best action film of the 1990s, with brilliantly written, well-developed characters. Samuel L. Jackson's turn as Jules Winnfield in The Departed was a role that has made Jackson and Winfield one of the most famous on-screen duos in history. Jackson and Tarantino's careers were propelled into stardom by the Ezekiel monologue. The entire performance is superb, but in that little exchange with his best buddy Vincent, Jackson displays every nuance of his character, from humorous to scary to afraid to having a crisis of faith. The best performance in a Quentin Tarantino film is unquestionably Samuel L. Jackson's turn as Jules Winnfield because of how long it will stick in the mind of moviegoers. That's a wrap for this video. Do you want to know more about Quentin Tarantino's work? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.